Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening and a good Christmas. And here we go with kind of one of these. So tonight we're painting on the sprue. You see what I'm doing? You see that? Yeah, we're painting Star Wars robots on the sprue because this is an idea that Jason came up with. You know, to put these droids together correctly is you paint them on the sprue, and then you can put that translucent piece in, and in theory it should work. It should work. We'll see. Well, all right. So you can see I've sprayed the sprues where most of the arms and stuff, you know, where those are gonna be. I'm still working on a whole bunch of stuff right now. This is the base to a speeder, so let's paint this. Let's spray this as well. I didn't bother to tape this guy because we're just gonna that part. That really the only part that needs to be clear is the center of the clear flying base. So. But I'm going to get some primer on it. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're just kind of painting miscellaneous Star Wars Legion stuff, which we're about to get into here. Kind of the miscellaneous after the principal army stuff is done. Now we're into the other stuff that I just added. More Legion today. So yes, sir. What's up, Chris? Yeah, I was gonna paint Rambo, the board game, but that is another endeavor. That turned out to be a very large set and very hilarious. So we will get into. I will paint Rambo, the board game, at some point, and maybe even stream a game of it on here because that game looks hilarious and definitely tops my list of cool stuff I got for Christmas. One thing I need to do, I totally forgot to put the harpoon on my speeder, right? I don't want the ground buzzer. I want the harpoon. So I'm gonna glue the harpoon on here. What are you up to? You doing any hobby, Chris? There we go. So yeah, I've been buying a lot of this stuff, so we're going to be painting a lot of it. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, hope you had a good Christmas. Well, I always paint when I've got an object that I can't really mount properly because I'm not going to permanently affix it to the flying base. I always paint the bottom first. That way I don't have to worry about, you know, the bottom or the underside. So that's the deal. I'm just gonna paint the bottom half for now. Get some primer down up in there. All right. Wow. Wow. What? That thing just jumped out of my hands and jumped onto the floor. Hey, what's up, Nelson? Building infinity stuff to clear more boxes. Yeah. How much Legion stuff do you... I have enough for a couple of armies. I don't think they're full size army yet, but the my Rebel Hoth stuff is getting very close. Like I'll be able to, should very soon here be able to field almost like a full 800 points. I'll leave that to the Legion people to tell me if I'm accurate or not. But it does seem like I'm getting a lot of points together for it. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Go see mommy, okay? There you go. I knew that would happen. The minute I turn on my my stream, my 4-year-old will wake up. He just knows. He just he just psychically linked to that broadcast button. He knows. But yeah, let me get this primer down on the speeder here. You should have a fair amount for 800. Just max out your upgrade. Yeah, I mean, if I did play 800, I would not want to play it that way. That is working. So, yeah, I mean, there is like one more unit that I would really like to add to it to just give me that extra little option. And yes, they are the cool walk hat dudes because they have walks for hats. They're not quite as cool as the Imperial walk hat dudes, but they're pretty cool nonetheless. Alright, let me just get a little bit of extra primer down on this thing just to make sure that that's going to be nice and primed when time comes to paint that guy. And then still a little shabby here. Is scorched laser hits. What's good way to do scorched laser hits on vehicles? I don't know. Never actually really tried. I've never tried to do anything like that. I guess, and I would assume taking an airbrush and some sort of super flat black, like this black primer, right? Maybe thin it all the way down so that you can get it through a 0.15 needle, and then just come in real close and pop the trigger super light. That's what I would do. And I just made up that method right now, so I don't know if that's right or not. But that's what I would do. I guess I'm saying that's what I would attempt to do. Look at these guys. They talked me into... Nelson and Jason talked me into buying this gun thing because you have to complete the Hoth, you have to complete the Hoth models. If that's the army I want to build, man. I will, yeah, you know what? I want to do Star Wars. I like painting the Star Wars stuff. I really do. I am seriously half tempted to buy the original 2-player starter again, just to get Vader. Vader and the Stormtroopers. Even though I already have a Rebel team, the Rebels that it comes with are just sort of eh. I mean, I could add chicken walkers, but and you guys know my awesome Luke Skywalker impersonation. But yeah, to be able to get Vader so that I could I want to do a Hoth. I do also like Hoth Imperial, so I could do Hoth Imperial and the red Imperial Guardsman and Vader. That's a thought. But I don't. But the game for me is just so-so. You know what I mean? For me, it's more interesting just to build and paint the armies. Like, I just want to see the armies on the board. The game itself is just, yeah. The game itself, I could just give her, take it or leave it. It's not the most inspiring thing for me personally. Let's see. I could go Pearl Violet. That's not bad. Or should they just match? Maybe they match the rest of my son's droid army entirely. That's a thought too. Let's see what other cool color shift paints do we have. So we have quite a few color shift paints. It's just a matter of, this purple is kind of dope. That's kind of a dope purple. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys got cool stuff for Christmas, let me know. Or if you have any topics, comments, questions, threats, always down to hear whatever's on your mind. You may or may not want to hear what's on my mind. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Can't promise all winners, guys. They can't all be 10s. Let's see. Where are the rest of my color shifts? My color shift paints. Ooh, blue violet. That's super fun. I like that. Where's that old? I want that old brown green is a really nice color shift. I just have way too much trash on this. Electric intense blue violet is actually somewhat disappointing. The green violet is better. Let's see what else we got. Just give me a second while I try to find the color that I want. This red gold is pretty nice. This is actually a pretty nice color. I might go with that color. That's kind of nice. It wouldn't match the other guys, which is kind of sad, but let's see what else we got. Pearl violet, nice, but no. Katie's parents sent me funky tea towels. One says, I need you to drown it in sauce. Gold, yellow, burnt orange. It's a pretty cool color. But, again, not what I'm looking for. There's a very specific color I'm trying to find. Let's see if I can find it. The purple also is a really cool color. Old gold gray violet, that's kind of nice. It's kind of a nice color. But I want the brown, it's like a brown green color. That's super cool. It's a little alarming that it's not in here. Not gonna lie. A little alarming that I can't seem to be able to find it. Is that it? No. Alright. So it's not in here. We can safely rule that out. Is it? Now you got me, because I'm standing up. And I'm looking around, and I don't see it. Seeing all kinds of other stuff. Seeing lots of Turbo Dork. No. The other has faces of cats. This all sounds rather hilarious. Yeah. Best Christmas gift I got this year, Rambo the board game, by far. Best Christmas gift, because that is the most hilarious concept for a board game I can think of, is Rambo the board game. I could do that. It's not bad. No. Row, row, row. Yeah, just not this. I mean, this would get. This is fairly close, but it's more silver than anything. Okay, but it's not the color. It's not the actual color that I'm looking for, and that is deeply frustrating. And I mean deeply frustrating. There's no way I stuck it back in here. But let's check anyways. Yeah, there's no way I stuck it in here. Ooh, that kind of looked like now. See? I almost fooled myself. But looks like it's going to be a negativo. What's going to happen is I'm going to start spraying a different color in defeat, and I'll find it in the middle of doing it. That's what's most likely going to happen. Let's see. Nothing great here. Yeah, dude, I'm about to do it. I think I'm just gonna spray it another color. I mean, they're an elite unit, so I guess it's not the end of the world if they're slightly different. The problem is, even Grievous is that color. Oh, found it. Okay. Oh, found it. All right, this is the color I wanted. Burnt gold brown. Okay. This is the color that fixes all of this stuff. I do have to get this big old pie plate thing off of the table. Otherwise, it will be that color as well, and we don't want that. All right. Shaking this up. So yeah. Probably a better question for this crowd. What did you buy yourself for Christmas? That was your awesome thing. What did you buy yourself for Christmas? I mean, I guess for me, it could be that Rebel Hoth army, right? Could be that. Isn't that a great color? Look at that. Right? It looks like a... What I like about it is it makes these robot guys look like scarabs. Right? Because it's like Japanese beetle color. And it's super cool. Also, it makes these... makes the droids insanely fast to paint. Because you just do this, you do a couple of highlights, you throw a couple of washes on it, and you call it a day. Right? And the overall effect of the army is awesome. And people come by and go, wow, I really like what you did, like, on Saturday. I really like what you did with your army. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. Which was like literally a 2-second job. I mean, this is a lot of work. Those of you thinking about commissioning me to paint a droid army. Yeah, this is backbreaking stuff. I'm going to have to charge extra. Do you want me to do your droid army? Sorry, buddies. It's just too much. Alright. Making sure I don't have any clogs. All right. But yeah, you can see that going down, and it's super cool. Now my son actually does want to do some customization on these, but I figure let's start him off on actually the right base color so that they'll still end up matching the army, you know, after all is said and done. Right? He may want to do different colored eyes or another type of detail on them. But at least the base coat will match. Alright, what did I do with that color now?
Hey, Dad?
Yep.
When you say I'm gonna do it, do you mean like I'm gonna do it soon?
No,
Like soon?
I would prefer you do it soon because I've already mounted them up and primed them.
No, like when I say soon, I mean like when you're done doing airbrush.
No, not tonight, if that's what you're thinking now. It's too late, dude. It's late at night. You need to be getting ready for bed, man. You're painting more droid? Yeah, my son had this. We got my son this this additional unit. Right? Plus it gives him another option for droido. Droido. They are cool looking. Look at this guy. This guy's in the most action of poses. Ooh.
It honestly feels like the middle of the day because we stay up like very late.
Yeah, you and your brother are running really bad hours. It's gonna be a nightmare when your vacation's over and I'm gonna get you up at the crack of dawn to take you to school. Right? You've been warned. Probably a good idea to start going to bed at a decent hour. Still getting some cloggy clogs. With the droid army, really, the pain is just building it. Painting it is the easy part. You could do a pretty cool... I think you could build up a pretty funky droid army if you want. Like, if you spammed the S out of just regular droid units and took Dooku, that might be kind of cool. Grievous is kind of cool, obviously, as well. Where are them sprues? Alright. So this is Jason's idea of getting around the the translucent shield insert to paint everything on the sprue. It's a pretty damn good idea, actually. We'll see how it pans out. It's just the way that they designed the shield is that you can't build. You're physically gluing a solid piece into that translucent piece. So it's not like you can't just like build the skeleton of the shield and then add it later. You have to be able to put the whole thing together in one shot. No, didn't get any color there. Right here. man, it is really... I'll get some... Okay. Yeah, I like this. I like that green gold. It's super nice. All right. If you were looking for more exciting painting tonight, I'm afraid this is what you got, dudes. Droid painting and sort of batch painting. But yeah, I think the Legion seems to, for me anyways, it seems like it's more fun to collect and build than it is to actually play. But maybe, who knows? Maybe my attitude will change after several plays. But I am gonna be actively hunting out games because I want to get more experience. I want to be very comfortable with this game. Does that make sense? Right? I want to be very comfortable with the game. Very comfortable, you know, with my army, with the scenarios, with the droid army. That way, you know, when my son and I play, it's a nice, smooth experience, right? I'm not stopping to look up rules or that kind of stuff. So we're just sort of enjoying the game as it unfolds. And likewise, you know, when I play with friends or whatever, I want that same thing. I want the games to feel smooth. Every time you play a new miniatures game, if you have too many systems in your head and you don't remember them well enough, it can really bog down the experience. And for me, you know, I play the games that I play largely because they have the potential to provide a nice smooth, you know, 45 to 90 minute experience. That's what I want. I want to get on. I don't want to have too much stalling or thinking or looking things up. That always kind of bugged me. So I don't even like, you know, list building. I don't like a lot of the activities that many miniature wargamers really enjoy. That's just not me. I want to put stuff on the board. I want it to look super cool, and then I want to go on, you know, carry on with my life. That's what I'm looking to do. All right, we wash this color out, and then we're going to swap to ink. Story time. Do you remember your first commission piece? Let me think about that. What is my first commission piece? What is my first commission piece? Well, we were talking about this a little earlier today with Nelson. I really started commission painting when Octavius was born. So that's 7 years ago, and I started by not through direct commission. What I was doing was I was buying kits that I found that I knew were popular. Like, for example, at the time, Legion of Everblight for War Machine, super popular, or Hordes, sorry, super popular. Hey, what's up, Sean? At that time, very popular, very easy to paint too. But War Machine players are notoriously reluctant painters, so it was very easy to just paint up a set, put it on eBay, start the price just slightly below retail, right? You start the price below retail so people, because War Machine players, they want their stuff painted. They just don't want to pay for it. Same thing with Infinity players, very similar. Malifaux players, very different, but we'll get to that in a sec. So what I did was I would paint up like a Legion of Everblight starter set, put it up on eBay, start it below retail, and it would usually get a lot of people watching it, and people think they're going to get a bargain, and then obviously in the last few minutes, then the real big bids come in. Then they would bid on it. Obviously, I make a profit, roll my profit into another kit, and keep going and build a nest egg from there. Prior to that, I'd sold my Malifaux stuff off because Malifaux Second Edition was really pissing me off, and I sold off my full collection of Malifaux minis, which was probably around 1,000. I probably paid around 1,000 for it, something like that, and I made over $4,000 selling it. And that was really kind of I would say that was kind of the light bulb moment, is when I did that. And I got a buyer out of Texas who was buying crew by crew. He was winning every bid on eBay, crew by crew. He would win every bid, and he wanted everything I painted. And finally, he just contacted me and said, "I'll just pay you a lump sum. Just send the rest of it." So that's what I ended up doing. And like I said, made over $4,000 doing that. And then that's kind of how it started, right? And like I said, this was because I was having my first kid, and I didn't want my hobby to take any more money off the table. I spent so much money on things like going to conventions and miniatures, and then promotion. I spent so much money promoting my own events, and booking hotels, booking flights, doing all of that. That it was costing me thousands of dollars a year to do that, but it was my hobby, right? And disposable income and all that good stuff was something that I used to have prior to kids. And but post kids, it's like you can't, like, the options are quit the hobby entirely because it's just too much of a financial drain on you and your family, or figure out how to profit from it, right? And before, that used to not sit well in my stomach. I used to be like, well, this is a passion of mine. It feels really weird to profit off of something that is your passion and your hobby and that sort of thing. But you know what changes that sort of really honorable thinking is a mouth to feed. Like a helpless, tiny little baby will change your, nope, gotta make money, right? That's what happened. And ooh, yuck. You see that? Yucky. Good thing I started. You see, that's why we start on the bottom, guys. Yucky. Not good. Can I get this to spray? It's so spotty. What is going on? Yeah, that's ink. Why is it doing that? I really have a clog. Alright. Actually, I'm going to do something kind of weird. I'm actually just going to finish spraying the bottom real quick like this. Because it's not that important on the bottom. And I can actually build it up. Make it more even as we go. But yeah, that's kind of how it started. My first actual commission, I think, was off of eBay. Somebody buying, some of my, I think they were buying Guild Ball teams or something like that. And they said, hey, look, I got more stuff to do. I added to the team that I bought off of you. Can you please continue to paint it that way? And that's what I ended up doing. Yeah, this ink got all kind of livery. Good thing it's just basing. We could just do that. When it comes to the top of that speeder, though, that's going to be a problem. So I am gonna have to clear this clog here in a minute. But for right now, I can get away with doing this. This is okay. Right, those guys are gonna go on, because these are gonna be like red rock desert bases. Yeah, good question. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was somebody that was like that had bought something off of me, and then they just needed me to finish the rest of what they bought, like something like that. Like, oh, I bought your season 1 butcher's team, and I just picked up fillet. Can you paint fillet for me? Something like that, and it's very easy to do. Nelson was talking with Nelson about the first commission he had me do, which was like a Terminator miniatures game, I think. Right, Nelson? I think that something like that. It was something like that. Yeah, I don't care how spotty this is. This is just a base. So rather do a spotty base than a spotty vehicle. I'm just wondering, there is some sort of a pressure loss or something causing that uneven spray. Let's do these guys real quick, just down here. Just gonna get the floor until we fix the ink, and there we go. We are done with that. But yeah, that's kind of where it started. And the funny thing is, so this channel used to be called the Ebenstar channel, because that was like an old internet name, back in the days when everyone kind of had an internet tag, and it didn't necessarily make sense. I had a character whose last name was Ebenstar, and there was like a whole sort of lore around that, and so I just used it as like an online tag, and that's what this channel was named originally. And there was a segment on this channel called Play It Painted, where I did battle reports on using nothing but painted miniatures, and it was actually game reviews. So I would review an entire miniatures game. I'm gonna turn this off. I would review an entire miniatures game by buying 2 starters for a miniatures game, building them, painting them, and then playing a whole game with my friends, and then providing a review. What was different about it was the fact that most of the time when you see a miniatures game being reviewed, with the exception of Guerrilla Miniatures game, no, Ebon, Ebonstar, is that most of the time, at the time when I saw miniature game reviews, it was just a person sitting in front of a camera just talking, or maybe they had some of the models built, right? Maybe they only read the rules and reviewed the rules. You would almost never, and I mean almost never, get a review for a miniatures game that included a hobby review as part of that, right? I feel like that, and that's a super important component. If you're going to jump into, son, don't eat those in here. Go on. Go. it's a super important component of reviewing a miniatures game. Is if you're interested in a miniatures game, you're going to want to know, how do the kits put together, right? Is it annoying? Is it frustrating? And then obviously, how are the kits to paint and collect? How do you feel about that? So I felt like my miniature game reviews for Play It Painted were more comprehensive because of that, because you actually got feedback on the hobby side of a miniatures game. It wasn't just some guy reading a rule book to you and going, oh, I like this rule. Oh, I don't like this rule, right? You get a lot of that, or we used to on YouTube back when there was an explosion of miniature game systems, is you would have, you're back to do some laundry. Okay. See you, Sean. But yeah, that's what we used to have. And I felt like Play It Painted was different because it gave you a little bit more than your average miniatures game review. And again, it was just a segment on this channel. And it wasn't until the commission side of it really started to take off that I decided to just rebrand the channel. Right? Let's just make the channel that. Whereas, before then, this channel was largely just like a Malifaux channel. And in fact, all my viewer data still suggests that is the most popular subject on this channel, is that when I put out a Malifaux video, I get the largest response. So that's the viewership telling me, no, we still kind of just prefer you do Malifaux material. And I'm still very stubborn and like, well, I want to do what I'm having fun, or what's pertinent to me. I never wanted to be someone who generated content because it was the most profitable in terms of views or subscribership or something like that, right? And I'm not trying to that's not a criticism of people who do that, because those people are actual like YouTubers, and that is their hobby, right? Growing an audience, making the audience their goal. For me, this YouTube channel is really just sort of a repository of stuff that I like to do anyway, and get to talk with my friends and get to talk to the locals and some people online that enjoy consuming this type of content. So think about sending you I gotta move this. A painting handle as a present. A painting handle as a present, but you go through so many. What's a painting handle? Oh, these things. Oh, yeah, I do large batch paints, so it's a great, I really appreciate the thought, but honestly, I just use plastic shot glasses, and, because I do big old batches sometimes. I don't want to, but sometimes you got to, right? Sometimes you just do big old batch paints. And when you do big old batch paints, those super fancy painting handles, wow, they're not so good for you. Oh, here we go. A little bit softer. This is good. All right, so I could get, oops, turned off this thing. You saw the nice ones with brass inlay and chestnut. Yeah, see, those are super nice. I honestly do too much what we call production level painting. Unfortunately, I'm not the kind of painter that's going to sit down with a single model for a month and pour a bunch of hours into it and come out with a masterpiece. Like many other miniature painters. A lot of other miniature painters do that, and they're freaking amazing, and I'm always inspired by them. But I can't do that. I'm not wired to paint that way. Most painters do want to paint that way. I'm not wired to paint that way. What that does, frankly, though, is it tends to make them fairly shitty commission painters, right? Because they're way more talented than me. They're way more artistic than me, but they're also not as efficient. And that's by design, right? They're not painting for efficiency. They're painting for art. They're painting to put together something quite nice. I'm painting so that we can get to the table and play and still have a nice setup of minis to enjoy, right? Like this kind of stuff isn't Golden Demon stuff, guys, right? None of the stuff I put out really Golden Demon stuff, but I will get you your project back, right? You will get to play. That's the trade-off that you're making when you do business with me. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to get the super high display quality stuff, but it's going to come back in less than a month, sometimes way faster than that, and you're going to get to enjoy it. So really, the type of painting I do is really designed for miniature gamers to enjoy, right? Because I get back in there, because that's what you enjoy, is you want to get your stuff on the table, you want to enjoy it with your friends. Yeah. Do you guys remember that scene in Die Hard when they fire at when Hans Gruber's guys set up that little anti-tank gun? Schnell, Schnell, and they're like pushing it through the hallway, and then they get down there, and it's and the guy's looking through the binoculars, and he says, "Yeah, I see him." But yeah, I mean that's kind of the skill set that makes me a very good commission painter, a very efficient commission painter, but not a very good painter. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, that's not very good. You know, to be a good painter, you want to have that tedium. You want to be able to, spend a lot more time on details and various aspects of the miniature. Definitely, you want to be able to do that. But that's not a good skill for a commission painter, where people send you stuff and it's like, I always hear from other people who use other commission painting services. They tell me, "Oh, I just send it away and it's gone for months and months and months, and I'm not going to see it for a long time." And you're playing a game with them, and the stuff that they have on the table is all unpainted. It's stuff that they bought, very recently. But the army that they wanted to play or whatever, the thing that they wanted to use, is off at the commission painter, and they're not going to get it back for some time. And that's why, like I said, that's kind of the difference between me and other commission painters, is you'll just get your shit back, right? That in and of itself is very valuable. Wow, it's still very powdery. We'll fix it though. We'll smooth it out by layering it up. I wonder if it's just maybe my ink, the ink itself might be just starting to go bad because I've had it for a while. Maybe. You got me a point to fix my painting style through watching your channel, so I might miss the Malifaux portion, but I've gone through. Thanks, dude. Yeah, but yeah, the stuff, like I said, I'll never be like a Heraldez or anybody even I'll never even be half as good as those guys. Now Geraldes, though, because he's such a damn good painter, that he's extremely prolific as well, right? Like, he does this for a living. He can churn out extremely high quality stuff and still maintain high production. The painting clinic, he can also do that, right? Tony, he can also. He is just, those guys are just at a totally another level. Whereas, you know, most painters I know, they either fall in one of two camps. They're either very fast, but not that great, or they're very great, but not that fast. You know, the other Play It Painted painter, Phil, he falls in the other camp. He paints extremely well, but he's not quite as productive as I am. So the kind of clientele he gets are people that are just willing to send stuff off and not see it for months on end. The other thing too is he'll take like full board game Kickstarter commissions, which I think is just kind of wild. But he's done it before. It's just, you know, sometimes it takes like a year for that stuff to come back to the client. His clients are okay with that, but sometimes I can sense some, that other projects are like, oh, I just want it done. I don't really need like the highest level work to get us there. The little speeder. It's doing alright. Okay. We're cool. Still kind of crubby on the bottom, but no one's going to really see the bottom. Okay. Let me clear out my airbrush. Yeah, so actually, I'm not going to paint the droids anymore. They're at a point where my son is going to take over. So I'm going to go back to painting the cannon thing, that little dealio. And most of that will still be airbrushed. But yes, we'll see what 2021 brings in terms of the gaming outlook and what I'm going to do. I have decisions to make. Guild Ball is definitely still very important to me. Without the official support, it's going to be a little rough. I'm very, very grateful that Comic Quest is still, willing to support our Guild Ball community, and I'm also very grateful that we have a Guild Ball community that wants to continue to play. Right. But it would only be fair to kind of curtail some of that activity around Guild Ball. It would only be fair to the shop to do that. So, maybe 2021 we might be just looking at...
My water.
What? Where's your water? Your water's upstairs, dude. So we may be looking at quarterly tournaments, is what I'm saying. There's still going to be the annual cup. I'm probably going to move it to the fall because that's where it happened to land this year. So maybe we move the annual the big cup to the fall, and then for my birthday, because I like to usually I want to host something for my birthday. It's just easier than than attend. I'd love to go to KublaCon, but on my birthday weekend, that's always difficult because I have a family and I have to do family things on my birthday. So it's often just easier if I just host something myself. You still have to beat Kevin and Nate in the game, yeah. Um, but yeah, so we'll still do Guild Ball probably on a quarterly basis. Next year for me, still be hosting the painting events also on a quarterly basis, and then it's a decision of what game systems will I support. That's always going to be a difficult question for me. I really like Aristea. I think that you know I'm that is the game that I really enjoy playing the most, and I want to play and try to get more people to play. So that's a definite thought there. Um, Also, there's Malifaux. Malifaux Third Edition is super fun. Um, I don't know, like running events and tournaments for Malifaux Third Edition is kind of difficult because of just the length of the game. But I would be willing to do that. Oh, you're out of water? Okay. All right, guys, hang on for 1 sec. I'm gonna go get my kid some water. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Also gonna go help your swag. Okay, so yeah, so we're kind of reviewing the different systems that I'm looking to possibly support for next year. So Malifaux 3rd edition, pros to Malifaux 3rd edition. It is the most supported by the retail shop, so Comic Quest would really stand to benefit the most if I were to push Malifaux. The cons, Malifaux is just such a deep game. I love the game, but it is such a deep game that it kind of takes over your life. And it's that's the problem I have with that game, is that it's a lot. It would also, another pro though, is it would also probably get you the most eclectic crowd for miniature gamers, right? That more than likely that's going to get you a very eclectic crowd of people. My experience is that more women enjoy Malifaux than any other miniatures game, so so that's a nice bonus there. So Malifaux definitely on the radar. Aristea, I think, in an ideal world, gets us everything that Malifaux gets us, except it's not as good for the retail shop, right? There's not as much product to prop up for player base, and also right now there really isn't much of a player base for Aristea. I would say we have about 6 regulars. When we get to about 10 regulars, then that's then you can actually build off something like that. But again, low retail presence, and we really have no idea what sort of growth you can get for Aristea. That said, very easy to run tournaments now. Easy to play. Still my go-to these days for when I got some time to game. That's like top of the list is let's play some Aristea. I love playing Aristea, right? So yeah, Aristea is something that I absolutely want to play lots and lots of next year. The question will be, from a support standpoint, how much of it do we run on an official standpoint? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think we just kind of wait and see what the response is. Batman 3rd edition, also very fun, but even worse on the retail front. So not that attractive to the store. It has the potential for a very fun crowd because it's a Malifaux-like game, but it's a lot simpler and faster. And then it's in a comic book shop, so you might assume that we could get some interest that way. So there's that. So Batman's probably fallen a little bit further down the list than some of these other games. Other than that, what else is there? I mean, this game, we saw just by playing Saturday that there is a massive interest in this game at the shop. It is the hotness at the shop. People want to play this game. They're interested. And it's like, it makes me cry a little inside. But let me back up and laugh at Chris's comment. Time to go to Infinity Code 1. If it was just based on aesthetics and miniatures, I'm there, dude. I would play Infinity Code 1, absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't even need to answer the rest of it. But yeah, okay, anyways. What's up, Dicey? Tiger uppercut. What's going on, dude? So, yeah. This game, though, this game has massive legs. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. It does. It makes me sad because, for me, it still doesn't cut it as the best first miniature gaming experience. Because of scale. But the IP is stupidly popular. Okay? Star Wars is going to be, in 10 years, Star Wars will be the only mythology that's allowed. Right? Not allowed to tell any other stories in 10 years. Oh, you only be Star Wars. The Star Wars hegemony, folks. The Star Wars hegemony is going to take over. 10 years from now, you will not be able to tell any other mythology. You just can talk Star Wars. But yeah, there's already folks that run Star Wars for the shop, and I will continue to applaud that and support it as I can. Yeah. You know, I would honestly, for selfish reasons, play and then try to poach people. Like, oh, that's a really cool person. Hey, man, how you feel about this Aristea game? Hey, man, why don't you come play some Guild Ball with us? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there were a lot, right? Yeah, so Jason was teaching me how to play on Saturday. And it was almost like every third group of people that came by, maybe even more than that, you tell me, maybe even more than that they were stopping to go, like, ask questions, and they're checking it out, and everybody was like, oh, I just bought this, I want to learn how to play it. And I'm like, God, son of a... like, but yeah, cool. So definitely, you know, it's got legs. Retail people will go nuts. Right? Comic Quest, they use it, according to the staff, they use my name as a form of advertising. So it's like, oh, Octave is going to play this game, which is pretty funny. So I guess they use it as a... So, you know, if I say I'm going to start playing this game publicly, that, to me, that carries some weight. Because people are like, oh, he's playing this game now. We're going to, you know, he's probably going to run tournaments for it. Like, oh, no. Nope. There are other people that do that. I think, Jason, you've run some of those events, haven't you? Right? You and Nelson and, I forget the other guy's name. Like, you guys have done a lot of that work. Right? I'm not about to come in and steal anybody else's valor, you know? But yeah. But I will say that, yeah, just because there is some carryover from your audience into internet from people on the street. Oh, man. What is going on? Okay. I definitely have a clog here. I'm trying to blast through. I don't know. She's dead, Jim. She don't want to... She don't want to do it no more. There we go. Just trying to get a little bit of that gray back, right? That weird technological gray. But yeah. I mean, let's just be real. Right now I'm having a lot of fun just sort of collecting and building stuff. And yeah, I will be playing more games. I also kind of want to feature some of this stuff on the channel. If I can get it to get a recording format around it that I really like. You know, that's the struggle we had. That's one of the struggles that I have with Malifaux and with Batman, is that the game is very fun to play, but can be very difficult to film. Man, what I gotta do here? There we go. For this game, the critical runner is a person named Ralph. But yeah, most people that play this so far are more on the collector side with casual play. That's a good place to be, honestly. It would be kind of sad to watch this game go, you know, on the local scale, go to like the super power gamer crowd. That would be sad. That would not be a good time to watch. You see a bunch of people, oh, shut up, and they all play the same army. Best army is, you know, you should all play clones, and this is the upgrade, and everyone should play that. That's the worst. Right? You get enough of that from the 40K crowd. You don't want to see another game fall to that that victim. Batman needs like 4 cameras for it. Does. Batman and Malifaux needs. You know, we talked about Malifaux at length. How do you film a good Malifaux battle report? It's tough. Hold on, guys. Still clearing problems. And then there's just some miscellaneous ones. Like Relic Knights, I'll mention that I want to play it, but I don't think we'll ever have an official event for it. I think we'll just play it. You know, if I threw a tournament for Relic Knights, what I would honestly probably do is I would throw it at GameCraft, and just it wouldn't be, no one would know about it. We would just all be going to GameCraft that same day to play. And I wouldn't announce the tournament trees publicly. I would just message everybody, you're playing this person on this table. People would just swap. Because Relic Knights is the, you know, it does no retailer any good. It's just a bad idea for most people. All right. It's time to, let's continue on with some colors here. Oh, this night blue's kind of nice, but we're not going to do that. Let's do... There's one specific one I'm looking for, and I can't see it, as per usual. But yeah. What games do you want to play more next year, folks? Let us know. Ooh, look. Starship Filth. When's the next cooking stream? I don't know. Maybe New Year's? When I make fried rice? Maybe. What's up, Darth Torlin? Alright. Let's do some Starship Filth. Through here. Whoa. Got a spider web there I want to clear out. Ooh. Did not like how that landed. That was bad. Yeah. I'll have to come back and clean up that part of the hood. Let me see if I can... I wonder if I can just treat it right now. Maybe, right? If I... Yeah. Oh no. Screwed up. Screwed that up pretty bad. Now it looks like it's got a big old dent on the hood. Alright. We'll have to fix that. It's a cool idea. Hey, that's how you do your paint chipping, right? Just mess up and then go too hard with the brush. You're debating to buy some 3D printed minis to paint for the next year? Cool. What about you, Darth Torland? Any games you would want to come join any public events for? If I did, if I hosted any more public games for next year? Yeah, let me fix that real quick. I can fix that with a little one shot. Right. So most of this is due to the fact that my airbrush is nursing a clog. There we go. Got it back to normal, sort of. Okay. We'll leave that alone for now. You mentioned Guerrilla Miniature Games when you were talking about miniature reviews. Were they similar to your review style back then? Well, no. GMG, when they review a miniatures game, they do what I do. They paint up 2 starters, sometimes more. They'll paint up the whole thing, play it, and review it. They'll also do a separate video where they're just reviewing the rulebook. So they do, when they do a game to review, it's pretty extensive, but it's usually a big major market game, right? They won't review every little game, but they've reviewed quite a few games. But I really do admire that about Ash, is that he'll actually go in and build and paint up the models, and he'll tell you a little bit about how that process is in addition to the game review. I just think that that's a super important thing, and it's missing in a lot of other reviews. All right, so for this cannon, I believe these things light up yellow, right? They usually light up yellow. What if they lit up like a bright blue color? 2021 gaming, you're still not going to risk your health. Okay, no worries, dude. It's a fair assessment. Yeah, like what if we did that blue? Would that be weird? Let me look at that. What is this thing called? What is this thing called? Some sort of... It is called the 1.4 FD laser cannon team. Let me have a look. Let me look at some movie pictures. See if images of it. 1.4 FDP tower. Any footage of it shooting in the movie? That shot there, it the laser looks kind of blue. There's just like generic art showing it firing is kind of red. Blue would be unique. What else we got? This has it as a bright yellow as it's powering up. That's kind of cool. Any yeah, it looks like most of the time it's yellow. It's either yellow or blue. There's artwork that shows it blue, and then some of the stills looks like it's yellow when it fires. Like orange up to yellow. You discovered GMG when they did review of Gaslands, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I didn't know that Bing at one point used to work with Ash when they both worked for Games Workshop. And so he's actually friends with Ash. Okay. Alright, so you guys think blue? 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 Okay, we're hearing blue. Alright. So we got to do... So what we do is... We have to decide how light or dark we need this blue to be. And actually, we're gonna shoot Talsar blue. But as you can see, really just screwing around tonight. Not really focused on trying to finish anything. We're just screwing around for the most part. All right, there we go, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna spray these panels blue, and because this is kind of like an OSL technique, I'm not terribly worried about it spilling over into the surrounding areas because it should, because it's laser powering up. Right, and we'll go ahead. We'll come back in and hit that with the details. But yeah, there you go, man. Starting to see some of that blue right there. I think we are finally done with the airbrush for the night. Finally, because I'm not working on the speeder. You put the going live YouTube on. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Darth Torlin. Yeah, we'll be on for a little bit longer. But yeah, 2021. Well, I'm not sure. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to be supporting in the local here. Paint days will still be a thing. Speaking of which, there is a mini of the month due next Saturday. Somebody asked me too. Somebody talking talking about maybe doing some gaming on Saturday. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Now we can start some of the like basic color blocking. Now that we're here. So yes, one thing I know for sure, I will continue to be hosting Paint Day. Whatever the other events are, I'm not 100% sure on, but yes, we know we will be hosting Paint Day. I will throw some Guild Ball events next year, and then other than that, I don't know. I hope. I do hope we can get more Aristea. It would be cool to do another Aristea tournament, but Aristea is not. It's not a once a month tournament. You can't do that with Aristea. Again, maybe that happens like once or twice a year. So yeah, maybe there isn't a monthly game that I host. Maybe there are so many just other quarterly things I do that it ends up being a monthly game, but it's never the same game. All right. M. Borley Mini Club. Is that the? I think is that the name of the model? Probably. All right. So we start there. Then we do a little bit of Skeleton Horde. On these guys, on these boys. Right. And now that we know the pattern on these, that the jackets are actually going to be that Leviathan blue, that I can just do bone here and bone here. Right. Aristea Minis, Darth Torlin, Aristea Minis are standard plastic, but a lot of the alt sculpts are metal and they're super nice. They're really nice. Yeah, so I don't know, I guess that's the plan for next year, is just kind of just run a hodgepodge of stuff. It would be most efficient to just buckle down and say, I'm going to be all about this one game. But I just don't know if I'm there yet. What's up, buddy?
Different dinosaurs.
Okay. You need me to go change the channel? Okay. Hold on one sec, kiddo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'll take care of that for you. Alright, kiddo?
Why are you in a picture? He's a picture like that.
What? Oh. Hi.
It's true. Like
Yeah. What am I missing here?
See those tweezers around here?
No, don't play with Daddy's tweezers. Don't do that. So yeah, it looks like it, guys. I am gonna be heading. You're trying to tickle me. What are you doing? Looks like I'm gonna be heading out pretty soon. My son wants to. He needs some help. He's looking at my internet images there. But yeah. Son, let me do some of this blue real quick, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Will you wait? Can I do it?
Okay.
Okay. Wait. Thank you, son.
Let's start with the brand of concrete.
Yeah. Thank you.
What color do we need, Daddy?
For the concrete? This isn't concrete. It's going to be snow, actually. Do you like, do you like snow?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. You're funny, dude.
It's coming that bell for the bed.
Whoa.
It looks like a bed. It does wings inside like a pig. Downside's like a pig.
Yeah?
Yes.
As you can tell, ever since vacation started, my kids, that's Darius, guys, my kids don't sleep. And that's fun, because I still have to work. But everybody else in this house gets to play all night and sleep in all day. Okay. So we're keeping the fake Han blue, which is just poor lighting, right? Around this blue. Those of you who know the lore of Han's blue Hoth coat know that it's actually a brown coat, right? It's very much the dress meme from 2015. For those of you who remember that meme, the coat in this case is actually blue. Actually brown, but the toys and most people thought it was brown. I just think that's really interesting, and it's like my whole army is built off of that off of a lie, off of the lying blue Commander Solo outfit. Man, this is tough to get some of these angles with him standing directly behind a giant radar dish. But this is nice. This gives me another unit, completes my Hoth theme. But yeah, I'm most likely this week I will pick up some Walk Hat guys just because I want Walk Hat guys. And I'll put them on snow bases. And their colors are already kind of the same colors as what I'm doing on these guys anyway. Right? So all that makes sense. And I do like Arquillian green on the visors. Any questions, comments, threats? when we're doing this? Alright, another fine target for my valiant empire to destroy. Dude, Empire is kind of... Empire is something, if I were to have a second army, absolutely would be Empire. And yes, like I said, Hoth Empire. With snow troopers and Imperial Guard and Vader. Um, um, and then we need Snakebite. Where is it? So right now we're just doing the color blocking, just so you can kind of see how it's all going to go together. Yeah, I see him. Right, and then right here, and then the belt. Wow, once you know your color scheme, it goes pretty quick. Oh, I forgot to get the rest of his jacket. That's not good. With the Leviathan blue. So I'll have to come back and do that. I'd go Death Trooper Army. Once killed, you become a Death Trooper. I'm just not that cool into the lore, dude. Okay. No Disney's Death Trooper expanded universe. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you for clarifying. I was about to just go with Disney. I didn't even know Disney had Death Troopers. Whatever. Disney doesn't really have any bad guys. Their Star Wars units. Those aren't bad guys. They're just idiots on screen. They're just like they just they're just a joke. You're never afraid of them. They never do any real harm other than they blow up a solar system. Oh no, they blew up a solar system. They're just like comically bad and boring and not threatening. Okay. Seriously though, Octave, this turret station is looking great. I want to pick up, just have you copy and paste. Oh, you want the Han color scheme? As you can see, it's pretty easy. It's just you block out these colors and then you come back, highlight everything, and then it's really not a big deal. Okay. So far, so good. Death Troopers is a novel written by Joe Schreiber. All right. Good job, Joe Schreiber. You made Darth Torlin want a whole army based on your zombie ripoff. I mean, totally different thing. I'm just kidding. Calm down. It's okay. It'll be okay. I talk trash about everything. Don't worry. You're worrying. Alright, here you go. We'll give... Okay. Welcome back, Sean. Torlin is leaving. I've insulted his opinion. I was telling Nelson today that yes, sometimes I talk so much shit about Star Wars, people leave the stream. Found out stray cats peed on a pillow in the garage. That's really upsetting. Cat pee is very smelly. It's very smelly. It's not fun stuff. Bad cats. Feral cats. Feral cats came in to pee on your pillows in the garage. Like Dirty Mike and the Boys. I always think Dirty Mike and the Boys is the funniest. If you guys haven't watched The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, please watch Other Guy. Please watch that movie. That movie is so underratedly good. You need to watch it. It's super funny. I promise you'll enjoy it. There even is a Star Wars joke in The Other Guys, but I will say that The Other Guys is Mark Wahlberg his funniest role. I've never actually thought Wahlberg was, that funny until I watched The Other Guys. Want to stick around, dude? I don't know. They're just going to be people that, they take, if you don't, some people take it so seriously, like, if you don't like what they like, they take it as an affront, like, if you don't like what I like, then you don't like me. Why don't you like me? If you don't like everything I like, you don't like me. Some people will be like that. I don't know. What were we talking about? Cat pee. Man, cat pee is really smelly. We had a bunch of dogs over for Christmas. Like guest dogs. And they peed all over our rug. All over our living room rug. They took no fewer than 4 pees on this rug. But dog pee is like way easier to clean up. Alright. Now we go Basilicanum Gray. So does anyone have an idea in a small skirmish version of Star Wars Legion? I just want to build a Wookiee Mandalorian list. Alright folks, take it away. Nelson Jason, you're up. I mean, there's an online list builder. That's probably where you want to start. You could be Bo-Katan. Go Bo-Katan. She's gonna be the leader of the Mandalorians. You could be that. You could be the Bo-Katan. You could do that. Mandalorians and Wookiees would be pretty strong. See, yeah. Thank you for posting the builder link there, Jason. Yeah, I know everyone loves Katie Sackhoff and all that. But yeah, not really feeling that. Not really feeling Bo-Katan. Even though I painted her on the stream like 2 or 3 times already. If that upsets you too, which it might. It's updated, has all the cards for reference, limited to 3 units in total of those 2, so you'd have to proxy them as something else. Well, that's a bummer. You can't just play full Bo-Katan Wookiee list. But why? Unfortunately, man, that is what I need. Alright. Moving along with the color blocking of the 2 dudes. Actually need... I didn't think I would ever get to a point where I'm breaking out the wet palette, but yeah. So what faction would they be in, guys? If you did that. If you did the Mandalorian Wookiee team. Yeah, I'm just gonna be real. I just, you know, it really kind of made me sad to find out that Mandalorians are supposed to be like these super space Power Ranger guys that are like noble and shit, and they were the even more gooder guys than the Jedi. They stood up to the Empire. They're the gooder of good guys. And I was like, but that's with Boba Fett. This is all based on Boba Fett, who I get is not a Mandalorian. He was just a cloned mercenary whose original copy was... I get that, guys. I get that. I still see Mandalorian armor, and I'm like, I think this person should be a ruthless bounty hunter, not a Power Ranger. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay? You can get mad at me all you want. I just don't want them to be the goodest of good guys. They just... What the hell? It's just the most... You know, it's so backward, the messaging. But they're, you know, they're really tough. It's like a Spartan society. Like, okay, I get it, but I get it, but I don't. Just don't make them the goodest of guys, please. If you went back and told me that the Wookiees were the goodest of guys, I would be okay with that. I would be more okay with that, with Wookiees being the goodest of guys, than Mandalorians being the goodest of guys. What am I doing? Shouldn't that be blue too? That should totally be blue. Why didn't I paint it blue? What's the matter with me? I'm too busy being mad about Bo-Katan And I need the dark saber, or I can't be the leader. Like what? What? Where? What? And she's like, yeah, when we see Moff Gideon, he is mine. Okay, cool. They are my imaginary scum list. Alright. Yeah, it should be like that. Righty? Righty? Should be like that. Boom, like this. The lasers. The lasers is about to fire. There we go. Lasers! And then, you just kind of use it to fill in here, right? I want it to fill in. And then we come back in and highlight these brighter in the middle. Nelson's eyeing this this army like, yeah, as soon as Octave gets bored of this, that's gonna be my army. Maybe if I just play 3 games against Octave and just Kirby stomp him. And he go, you know what? Star Wars Legion is a bad game. And I rage quit. And Nelson swoop in, hey man, I will totally buy your Hoth Rebels from you. Don't worry. Don't worry, Octave. Go back and play some Aristea. Go back and play some Aristea, man. It's okay. Shh. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's the Nelson plan. But no, I mean, I would be if you. I guess if we wanted excellent observation. Hear about Lando coming to the game, and he said, "All right, I'm in." So now, now I kind of need stupid Jason. No, you need the guy. You could be Santa Claus. You could pay him like Santa. I'm like, damn. Good point. You needed a guy to be Santa Claus, and you get the droids. I'm like, oh yeah, good point. But these are all just distractions from me getting the true meaning of Christmas, which is the Walk Hat dudes. Because I want to run the Walk Hat dudes full speed at stuff and watch them die horrible deaths. And if they make it, they somehow... That actually, think about it. That's actually kind of a neat... That would be a fun little delivery system for Han and Chewie, right? Is the Walk Hat dudes. Because so much of the Hoth troopers, I find, are just... They seem like more of a stand-and-shoot type army. Which they should be, right? That's what they're defenders. That's what Hoth... That's what Hoth should be. They're not this, like, super fast mobile strike team, right? But that's... Sit and shoot isn't really my playstyle, right? Like if I'm gonna, that's another reason why I think the Imperial Hoth troopers with Vader is probably would be way more fun for me to play, because they are designed to be, shock troopers, and obviously with Vader and Imperial Guard, you really want to play a more aggressive play style, like, for speed and that kind of thing. Yeah, you get the medical droid. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm poking fun at Jason for being actually correct. I'm just mad. Oh, now my son is interested. It's not an army. It's It's just like a squad of Mandalorians. Um, yeah, there's a medical droid.
Wait, it's that thing that got killed in the level?
That's IG. No, not IG-11. No.
Yeah, but remember he turns into a medical droid.
Yeah. Destroyer Worlds. Well, not no. When they're talking about the medical droid that was in Empire Strikes Back, that put Luke in that underwater tank thing.
Okay.
Like that was a cool action figure,
Wait, what does this have to do with...
and I really liked it. But no, if you want the Mandalorians, there's like that. I think I don't recall. I think the leader is the Red Ranger, and then you got the Black Ranger. There's like a special Green Ranger, and the Pink Ranger. I think that's the name of that squad. I forget. Something like that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not on board with. I don't know. I'm sure you guys can point out to where they're like super badass in the fluff, but Mandalorian season 2, episode 3 or whatever, when they show up, oh my god, that is the worst episode of Mandalorian. And by the way, how come no squid face people are ever good guys? You know the guys with the CGI squid tentacles on their face? Those guys are always bad guys. Are they always 100% bad guys? Does the squid face guys that like like booby trap Mando? And it's like, oh, we're here to help, but they're really not. They're just bad dudes. I noticed that the squid face dudes are always like, I'm not talking about the same species that Akbar is. I'm talking about CGI squid face guys that have like the flatter faces, and then they've got the CGI tentacles kind of wriggling at the bottom of their face. Those guys always seem like bad guys. But anyways, that episode is atrocious. I don't know why. And Nelson and Jason know this. I nearly quit the series when that episode came on. I was like, this is so absolutely bad. I'm just gonna get up and leave because it stunk of Disney Star Wars. It was they're all walking in straight lines down the hall, just pew pew pew, just blowing up stormtroopers. And the lead Imperial guy is like a fool. He's just like what's his name in the Disney movies? I forget his name. Kylo Ren's emo goth buddy, who turned out to be like some sort of plant. The dude's name, Grand Moff Grimes or whatever. Whatever the hell that dude's name is. Pasty white dude is whatever his name is. Yeah. Yeah, they always have beef versus Mon Calamarians. It makes sense. That's really sad that they're called Calamarians. But yeah, that episode, just what the shit? What was that? Like, that was just bad. There was supposed to. It's just 4 people. Like, they're basically just playing House of the Dead. Because they're just pew, 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 just walking in a straight line, shooting all these storms. Like, oh, I'm a Mandalorian too. No, I'm the most Mandalorian. I'm also a Mandalorian. And then Mario Lopez, I'm a Mandalorian for just this episode. And then you get that other one with like the resting bitch face, which is supposed to be like the most badass Mandalorian. And you're like, word? That one? Anyways, and and Mando is just kind of like a guy. He's just like a regular one, but these ones are like the most Mandalorian. It's like, oh my god, please make it end. What is this? But yeah, I don't know. Please, I don't want them to be the goodest of guys. Please don't let them be the goodest of guys. Please. I get it. They have cool armor. I get it. The fans want them to be the goodest of guys. Um. Ah. You see what I'm like? This is what I'm saying. Don't give the audience what they want, because what they want is dumb. Give them a good story like season 1. Like, just look, you have this cool universe. Like, put good characters in it. Mandalorian is, yeah, he's a badass, ruthless dude, right? But the dude gets his ass whooped like every episode in season 1. Like, it's a real like, he actually has to like struggle. But that episode was just, it was hot garbage, man. They aren't supposed to be, I get it, Sean. Like, it sounds, and you know what? That sounds okay in theory, but the execution was just atrocious on it. It just was not good for me. And and you know, if you disagree with me and you have like other fluff and other sources, then I'm just gonna take your word for it, right? Like, yeah, okay, they probably are pretty cool. Like, they probably, sure, you know, in the fluff, in the other sources, I'm sure they're cool. In that particular episode, I just wanted them all to die horrible deaths. That's what I wanted. Hi, my name is Bogan. Like, I wanted, you know what the best thing about, and we're gonna spoil season 2 for the, I don't know. Is anyone watching that doesn't want season 2 spoiled? Can I just go there? I will tell you, my favorite thing in season 2 was not the finale. Was not the, oh my god, that happened. Not that. Not that thing. The episode 6. The episode 6 was dope because it was like, I know I've stopped painting. I'm bored. It was like, you knew in episode 1 of season 2, you're like, oh, okay, they're gonna figure out how to bring Boba Fett back, right? And so I'm watching episode 1. I'm like, ah, shit. You knew it was coming. I just didn't think that they were gonna do it as soon as season 2, right? But you know how series are, the TV series are these days. They don't know if they're gonna get renewed for a 3rd season. You never know, right? So you knew it was happening from episode 1. You're like, shit. They're gonna figure out how to they got to get Boba Fett out of that Sarlacc, which they never bothered to explain, which is okay, I suppose. Because I think at this point, any explanation would be picked apart by assholes like me, probably. So, you know he's coming back, right? And I'm waiting for it that whole season. I'm like, I'm kind of dreading it. Like, oh my god, here we go. Fan fulfillment. Yeah. Oh, jeez. And then episode 3 happens. And you're like, oh my god, if it's going to be like this, I'm going to thumb my eyes out and I'm just going to tell everybody who, Mandalorian is the best thing ever. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. So I'm really dreading it. Okay? And then episode 6 comes along. And again, something I should hate in theory, Robert Rodriguez, made that one of the dopest scenes in all of Star Wars, in my opinion. In my opinion. How they brought him back was fucking insane, right? Because that dude rolled up on screen in just like a monk's robe, and he was like, "Oi, I'm Boba Fett," and then he just started fucking stormtroopers up. Just in the rawest way imaginable. In a way that we have never seen in Star Wars. Never. Okay? He's using basically a lug wrench from like the back of a truck. But it's, it's like Star Wars version of it. And he's beating he's bashing their faces in, and you're seeing the plasteel armor or whatever the hell it's made out of. You're seeing it like crack and shatter, and you're hearing like bones breaking, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what I want to see. Yeah, Boba Fett, and he's not even wearing the armor, and he's already that's good character development, guys. That's yeah. You know what? Boba Fett is so badass, Boba Fett, that fool don't even need to be wearing the armor, and he's rocking the shit, right? He is hurting them. Like, I'm watching that scene going, holy shit, this is intense. Like, I actually feel bad for them stormtroopers. Stormtroopers really just die. You typically die really silly deaths. Pew! And they fall over or whatever. This dude is bashing their eyes in with a lug wrench. Okay? So, that's what I'm saying is, like, that is how you fucking do it. Right? That is what I've been wanting to watch. That's what I wanted to see in Star Wars for decades. That's what I've been waiting to see. Is somebody go, you know what? War is fucking rough, people. I mean, they kind of got it in Rogue One. You get that grittiness in Rogue One, and that's why a lot of people really like Rogue One. I also think Rogue One is fantastic for that reason. But they really did it. Right? Robert Rodriguez, he really did it. He was like, nah, he's going to hit these motherfuckers so hard that you're going to feel that shit, like watching it through your screen. And I was like, oh my god, I sort of hate the idea of Boba Fett coming back because of the fan fulfillment factor, but I love how they did it. I absolutely loved the execution. That episode was so damn intense. That episode, for me, was way better than episode 8. I know. But episode 8 is when... I know. But, nah, man. If Mandalorian was like that, in my opinion, Mandalorian would be less popular, but I would like it a lot more. if every third episode was that nuts, and you just had, the 2 episodes before that were just sort of build up and character development, and you get this semi-slow burn where it's like, okay, yeah, that's where that, okay, and they pay off later, right? But you get this crescendo where, we just let Robert Rodriguez be Robert Rodriguez. When Robert Rodriguez can just be Robert Rodriguez and just Robert Rodriguez the shit out of some Boba Fett scenes, right? That's what I want to see. Yeah, Jason, looking forward to the Boba series. It looks cool enough. I like that thing where, he goes the after credit thing, that scene. I also enjoyed the second to last episode. In fact, Bill Burr, sort of my spirit animal. Loved him in The Mandalorian. Great character in The Mandalorian, right? Yeah, Chris, I totally agree. Finally, you get to see, the Empire in Disney. The Empire is always just sort of this, oh, we're goofy bad guys, and they just wear the T-shirts that say we're goofy bad guys. Like, it's really pathetic, and they have no teeth. And Disney Star Wars is just hell in my eyeballs. It's just awful, terrible shit. But yeah, that was a great episode, and you got to see Bill Burr like actually pull off a piece of acting, which is pretty cool, right? So yeah, episode 7 was very very good. And yeah, I love the Bill Burr character too. I like the previous episode with him in it too, where it's that heist episode. I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. The setup was awkward. How they kind of forced all that stuff to happen for the first encounter, but it was still nonetheless pretty damn good episode. But yeah, it is interesting how with all the different directors, just how different each episode feels. And it's kind of cool, and it's, you get some really, really big hits. But, if that Robert Rodriguez, if that episode didn't happen the way it happened, I would call season 2 kind of a mess. I would say it was not successful. I still prefer season 1, and people look at me weird, like, what? Why do you prefer season 1? Because season one was more coherent in storytelling, and no, it was definitely not as expansive, but you didn't want it to be. You didn't want that show put you in the right part of the Star Wars universe, in my opinion. You don't need big, grand scale events, okay? There isn't, my son calls, what do we call Ray, son? Bad times. Because what do we call those? Yeah, we call those movies Bad Times Ray and Friends or something. The Disney Star Wars movies. Is that what we call it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what we were calling it. Bad Times Ray and Friends. But yeah, and that's what made season 1 so great, is that you didn't have giant battles that were supposed to have meaning, but just totally hollow in the movies. But yeah, season one was great because it's essentially a western. It's a western, plus it's if you guys are familiar with Lone Wolf with Cub, right? The samurai classic. It's very much Lone Wolf with Cub, set in a western, and I absolutely love that. And you can tell that's Jon Favreau, because he's got that. It's a similar influence for him. He's like, okay, I'm going to do The Mandalorian. I want to tell it like a western. I want it to feel that way. I want to put you in the Star Wars world, in the Star Wars universe, without dropping the almighty force on you, and not, without dropping the, oh, you're destined to be this or that, or you're part of some legendary bloodline, or or you're the first stormtrooper to say fuck being a stormtrooper. Like, it doesn't put you in that. It puts you in the part of the Star Wars universe that I always liked, which was like, man, I want to see about these like weird, dumb-looking aliens, and I want to see small crime. I want to see small-scale character development, and I want to see that in the Star Wars universe. We already saw the grand-scale stuff, and most of that I think is trash. So I want to see I want to see more episodes with the Walrus Man species. Even though what's her name, Cara Dune or whatever, kills a bunch of them. So sad. Those poor walrus dudes. I love you cut the guy's arm off, I get it. But we want to see more Rhodians too. That was probably my only complaint about season 1, is I was hoping to see more Rhodians, because I love Rhodians. I don't know if Legion ever came out with an army where you could field Rhodians and Tusken Raiders. That's what I would field. Best army ever. And you got to have Bosk at the head of that army, and Snaggletooth. Right? That would be amazing. I'd play the shit out of that. Tusken Raiders should be like the worst army, though. But it would be a pain, because a squad of Tusken Raiders would only cost like 10 points. So you would have to field millions of them to actually form an army. And the Rhodians would just be regular, like, corrupt alien guys. That would be pretty damn cool. Let's see. Season 1 tightly focused to get you hooked. Season 2, jump off the vehicle. Season 3, possible series. Yeah. There are Rhodian heads you could swap into. Rebels, though. No. What? They should be they should be part of a scum and villainy army, squad of Rhodians, where they they any unit that they destroy, they lose a turn because they're trying to just rob the bodies. Jawas would be pretty awesome too. Be a fast army to paint at least. But yeah, I don't know. I know I stopped painting like 10 minutes ago, so if you guys, I think we're gonna call the stream here. Yeah, I totally could have finished this if I had kept painting, but it doesn't matter. we're just screwing around. Yeah, but anyways, I'll give us a couple of minutes here if you guys have any additional comments or anything. But yeah, overall, I'm glad the Mandalorian is actually. I felt like it's a good use of the Star Wars setting, especially season 1. Season 2 was more erratic in terms of the quality, and you can tell that season 2, a lot of it does seem like it was just kind of that they specifically just wanted to do setup for all these series that they intended to launch, because that's the Disney shotgun approach. It's like, oh, something worked. Oh my God, something worked in Star Wars. Let's make 10 different series. No, it's not. There's actually plenty left to paint. I have to highlight the skeleton horde colors. I'm going to highlight those back up to white. The Leviathan blue needs highlighting. This is all going to be highlighted and lit, and there's going to be little details to paint in there. And then there's a bunch of, then I paint the ground cover. So I got some green. I usually do some green in the ground cover, then tufts, and then snow. So there's probably a good 30 to 45 minutes left of painting this, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to, you could just throw it on the table looking like this, but this is one of Nelson's eventual armies. I gotta represent well. Anyway, yeah. So I think we're gonna call it here. I gotta get up in about 5 hours, so that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.